So in this run up to Christmas, I thought I would share a sparkly festive makeup tutorial, a how-to showing some of my favorite things from one of the great brands, beauty brands called Beauty Pie, founded by my friend Marcia Kilgore, who I love. So this is a big shout out to her and the team. I've got a few other of my favorite things as well, but it's essentially focused on Beauty Pie because so many of you love it and have said, you know, what do I buy? What do I use? I've got so much stuff that I bought from her over the years. And of course, we do have a Liz Loves. So if you haven't yet tried Beauty Pie, just use Liz Loves, all in capitals, and that gets you a free month subscription. So normally you take out a 3-month subscription and you get a free extra month added on if you use your Liz Loves code. So one of the reasons I love Beauty Pie is that they have all sorts of things. So everything from skincare to beauty to hair care to makeup and nails and just all sorts. They've even recently gone into vitamins. And the great thing about it is it's incredible value because you just pay cost price, literally cost price. Check out their prices, they are amazing. But the quality is really, really good. So because it's a subscription scheme, you just pay your monthly amount, which can be as little as £10. And then you can buy all of this at cost. I mean, the savings I have, honestly, it sounded like, you know, saved, I don't know, hundreds of pounds, maybe more, thousands of pounds over the years, probably. Anyway, this is one of their new things, which I thought I'd share with you. It's called Superdose C. It's a rapid action power brightener. So it's little drops that you use over your moisturizer. So I've just basically got clean skin here. I haven't done anything. Use it over or under your moisturizer just to give yourself that extra glow. So today, it's all really, for me, about getting a bit of glow, a bit of sparkle, a bit of festive face. And then I'm going to use her moisturizer, which is called Pure Oxygen. It says Radiant Glow Moisture Infusion. I thought that sounded really good. And actually what I like about it is it's not too highly perfumed. It's just got a little bit of scent, because perfume can be really upsetting to sensitive skin, especially as we age. So I just want to do a little bit, just really on the drier bits of my face. And then I'm going to start with a base. And what I love about this one, this is called All in Wonder Illuminating Primer. And the great thing about Beauty Pie and Marcia in particular is she loves playing on words. So you often find that she's just got like funny puns. So All in Wonder. So this says it's an illuminating primer, and I certainly have found that it just gives skin a little bit of a glow. You know, as we age, we don't want to look sparkly. We just want to look glowy. And it just evens out skin tone. In fact, I'm not actually going to use a foundation on my skin because I just want the glowiness to shine through. So I'm probably going to use a double layer of this. And you can get it in different shades. So they have really good selection of colours for all skin tones. I'm obviously just using the ones that work for me. And it just evens out everything. It's like a little optical illusion. And if you want, you could just kind of leave it there. But I thought because I'm going to show you a festive face, I'm going to spend a little bit more time putting on a really glam face, as if I was going out somewhere amazing. I may just be staying in and doing a Zoom, but hey, there we go. So now I'm going to use one of my favourite concealers. This is actually not Beauty Pie, it's a Clarins one. And I like it because it's quite creamy. So I use it under my eyes. And just really anywhere where there's any hints of redness. So, you know, if you've got any little areas of uneven pigmentation or breakouts, you know, rather than doing the whole face, covering it in foundation like a mask, you can just dot on a bit of concealer where you need it just to even out skin tone. So I'm just going to use a few dots and even that out. It's a really good texture. If you want to see any of the makeup that I use, I have put together on Liz Earle Wellbeing. There's a whole section called Liz Loves, and there's a section there specifically called Liz Loves to Makeup, and that's where you'll find details of all the shades and links and all of that if you want them. So yeah, just blend that in. So the key thing with this really is to leave all the glowiness, because that primer has given me a little bit of a sheen, and I don't want to dampen that down by putting a foundation on top. So I'm just going to leave it like that so I get that glow. Now, on top of that, I am going to use a tiny bit of powder, but I'm going to be very careful where I use it. This is really lovely. This is called One Powder Wonder. And if you open it up, yeah, surprise, look, it's white. And it's a kind of a perfecting powder. So you'd use that. I use it under my eyes. Again, it's all about lightening. So I've got just a concealer brush that I keep separately, so I don't use anything else with this brush, so it doesn't get any other colour on it. And then I use that just under the eyes, just again to give a little bit of lightness. And it's also quite good to have something matte under your eyes, because then it stops eyeshadow or mascara from just kind of spilling down your face. And then if you want to matte any shine, if you want to blot, you know, perhaps you've got a shiny nose, you could do that. A little bit on the chin here maybe. Up to you, maybe a tiny bit on the forehead. But I don't really want to kind of lose this glow here. Might just use a tiny bit of translucent powder. This is an old favourite one. This is a Laura Mercier one. Again, put it on your brush. I tap some into the lid of my powder pot, pick it up on the brush, and then kind of give it a bit of a shake. So there's hardly any on here. You don't want to cake your face. You just want to put a little bit. Just like that, just kind of down that central bit. There we are. Now, when it comes to shading, shaping, just bringing a glow to the face, I start with a cream blusher. And I think it's worth remembering that on our faces, on our skin, we have lots of different shades going on. So if you can use a couple of different skin tones in your blusher, it'll look much more realistic than if you just plonk on one colour. So I'm going to use almost like a base, if you like, and these are really cute from Beauty Pie. They are called Super Cheek. This one is Universal Pink. It's a really pretty sort of pinky shade. You can actually use it as a base for lips as well. It's quite nice on your lips. I might just show you that colour. Yeah, just sort of gives you a bit of pink. But it's mainly meant for cheeks, and I want it to go right where the cheek apples are here. So you just give a little smile and dab it on that exact piece here, okay? And then just blend it. And again, you know, using creamy colours on older skin is just so much more forgiving, because they don't cake, they don't crease, they kind of work with your face as your face moves. And you see there's just got that lovely sheen to it. Again, it's giving that little glow. It's almost got a little bit of iridescence in it, but it's not sparkly. You know, we don't want to look like the fairy on the tree. We just want to look glowy and gleaming. And then on top of that, I'm going to use one of their powders. This is called Go Rouge. And I'm going to use, I'll use the same powder brush. Just pick up a little bit in the centre of the brush here. Just make sure it's not too much. You know, you can always add more. It's much harder to take away. So I'm then just using a blusher brush or a powder brush just to go over that. So I've got my base of pink, and then I'm just adding a little bit more and taking that all the way around, so it's working up into the hairlines. There's no harsh edges. Pop a little bit more on just to get the glow. Really looking at the cheekbones, this sort of sculpty bit up here. You can take it over the eyelids as well. It's a really good base for eyes. About even, maybe a little bit more that side. I'm doing it sideways, so it's quite hard to see. But there we go. And then, if you want to, you can add a highlighter on top. I mean, this is Christmas, so we're going to be a little bit sparkly. So I'm using one of their palettes. It's called the Palette Wonder, One Palette Wonder. You can see I've used this quite a lot. I've had this a while. This is Cool Naturals, and one side of this is a highlighter. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that highlighting shadow, and then just literally brush it here, because that's the bit that I want to highlight here. and maybe a little bit over my eyelids as well. I find this one works really well as just a really pretty base, and because you can blend it into the top of your cheekbone here, again, there's no harsh lines. Everything is just sort of sparkly and lifted and glowy and blended together, so you don't really see where one bit ends and the other bit starts. Now for a bit of colour on the eyes, these I think are genius. This is Beauty Pie, and they call it, what do they call this one? This is called Goldie. It's just a creamy crayon, super easy to use. If I put it on my hand, you'll see. Really nice. And they've got this one which is sort of silvery, coppery colour, and then this one which is more of a goldy copper. This one is called Copperini. I'll put that on my hand so you can see the difference. Kind of one is silver, one is gold. But they're not too sparkly and frosted. They've just got a little hint of something. So if I use this one here, I'm going to use it all over my eyelid. It's super easy to use. It feels really comfortable. It's not drying at all. It's very easy. Can you see that's just giving a little bit of gleam and a sparkle? I'm going to blend that in a little bit. You can probably see at the edge there we've got a little bit of sparkle going on. And then I'll do my other side. These are really handy as well if you just want to glam up your daytime look, because you can apply it over eyeshadow. You can just do a little bit of an update and you can add more of it. So if you want to, you can go under the eyes like this, just to do a little bit of a sparkle. Let's see how that looks. Oh, very sparkly, very festive. Now, the one thing that I haven't yet done is done anything about my eyebrows. And so this is one of the Beauty Pie brushes, because I also have really nice makeup brushes. So if you can see here, this has got a really great little shaped brush on one side for your eyebrows. And then the other end is a little comb, like a mascara comb. And I'm going to use one of their matte shadows. This is a palette that I've had for, forever. It's called the 10 Best Matte Eyeshadows. They do lots of different eyeshadow palettes. And I'm just going to pick up a little bit of colour here, which is, I often mix the colours together, but that's kind of mostly matching in with my eyebrows. My eyebrows are slightly sparse towards the middle, so you just use little flicky movements with this brush just to work through a bit of colour. And of course, if you've got greying eyebrows as well, then this just helps to give them a little bit of shape. And then I quite like to elongate mine at the end as well, just to bring that shape out a little bit, just like that. So I've just got a slightly better shape, and then you can use the little brush at the end, and if you want to, you can spray the end with hairspray and then just run it through, and that, just as you can set your hair with hairspray, you can set your eyebrows with hairspray as well. Don't spray it directly on, obviously, but if you spray it onto a little brush first, then you can just comb it through your eyebrows. So just even that up with the other side. Little flicky movements, so you're just really emulating the actual hairs on your brows. And then bring that out to the side. Really good if you've over plucked, if you were of that era where we all plucked every little hair out, leaving a thin, thin line. The problem is that catches up with you later, because you then find that you have no eyebrows left. And there's no question eyebrows do frame a face. It's kind of like a punctuation point on the face. So that's eyebrows. Now I'm going to use just a little bit of eyeliner. And the two that I like from Beauty Pie, this one is really soft and easy to use, and it's a Pro Gel eyeliner. So although it's a pencil, it's super soft. It never scratches. It's just really, really easy to use. I've just sharpened this, so it's really clean. And the other one that I like to use if I want a slightly sharper line is this one. It's a black pencil, and what's it called? It just says Super Color Kohl Eyeliner. got a little smudgy stick at one end. Do you see that? So that's quite good if you want the smoky eye look. I actually want something quite clean and sharp, so I've just sharpened that one. And then I'm just going to use this. I'm actually going to use it on the very inner upper rim of my eyelashes because I just really want to enhance the lash line. I don't want it to look too artificial. So I don't actually go all the way along. You can if you want. If you want a really accentuated eye, you could take the colour all the way into here. You need quite a steady hand, so I'm resting my elbows on my dressing table. And then because I've got quite a sharp point on my pencil, I can just bring that out and up. And again, it's, you know, with eyeliner, it's about trying to lift it up. Yeah, lift everything up so that your eyes, because our eyes naturally droop a little bit as we age, so any artificial help that we can give them to give the appearance of being slightly more lifted. And you can play around with this, you can add lots more emphasis if you want. I tend not to go under my eyes. I know some people do, they like the whole, you know, all the way around look. For me, I don't feel comfortable with that, it's a bit too much for me, but hey, if that's your bag, you go for it. Now I'm using here their mascara. This is called Uber Volume, the Boost Mascara, Beauty Pie again. This is just their black mascara. And I work that, start at the inner lashes. And what you want to do when you apply mascara is it's almost like a joggling action. So you want to get it right into the root so you can lift it. Lift your lashes as you joggle. So it's kind of like a joggle and lift. And it's worth taking the time just to let the mascara dry and then go back for a second or third coat because you build it up each time. And just focus on making sure the lashes are separated and pulled slightly outwards. You can use your brush just to make sure they just flare out nicely because that's what gives you that really kind of attractive feline shape. So I'll just do the other side. So joggle it into the roots and up. Making sure that you get all the little hairs towards the nose and then working outwards. So up and out all the time, up and out. And then you can go back and do another coat. And you can keep building this up just as much as you like, really. I find this is a really good one. It's got good coverage, doesn't clump. It's easy to remove when you want it to come off, but it doesn't really shift until you do want it to move. Now, I personally don't often do my lower lashes. Again, I find it's a bit too much. I just like everything to go up. I don't really like anything below here. That's a personal thing. If you want to do them, then please do. Having done that, of course, you can then check and see whether you want to go back and reapply any more of the silver. I might just pop a little bit in the corners here, just because I'm going for that glammy look. And then again, once you've got your eyes on, you might also want to check your cheeks as well, because you could pop a little bit more colour. So I'm going to use a little bit of that Go Rouge just around here. And then, last but not least, a bit of lip. You can kind of frost up the lip. What I quite like is a little tip that I learned years ago from a makeup artist, is to take your highlighter, the little frosty bit, and you can just put a little bit on your Cupid's bow. So just here, just to give you a little bit of emphasis, not too much, but it just highlights your Cupid's bow and gives you a bit of a gleam. So I'm going to pop that on there, and then which lippy am I going to use? I think I'm going to use, actually, this. I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to use the Super Cheek. I'm going to use it in a slightly darker colour. This one is called French Raspberry. It's a really pretty colour. It's almost, I think on the lips, it looks kind of like a mulled wine colour. I like using my fingertips. Copy my friend Mary Greenwell with that. She's a great one for using fingers on her face rather than brushes. And then this, it stays put, so it's really good. So, you know, if you are having an evening, maybe one of those rare evenings out, and you want your lippy to stay, it's really good. But then if you want to have a little bit of a gloss, you guys all know I love Dr. Lip. So we've also got a Liz Loves discount with Dr. Lip at the moment up until Christmas. So grab that with your Liz Loves. But this is lanolin, purified medical grade lanolin. So if you want to turn your matte lipstick into a gloss and condition lips at the same time, then that's all you need. And voila, there you have, take my headband off, all set for a glam night out. Just need somewhere to go.